Welcome to Narrabri Shire Becoming a Councillor online webinar. The purpose of this webinar is to provide potential candidates and community members an opportunity to gain an insight into the roles and responsibilities of becoming a councillor, the workings of local government, the processes in standing for election, and where you can access more information. Let's begin. The 2021 local government elections will be held on Saturday, 4th of December this year. The New South Wales Electoral Commission is conducting the Narrabri Shire local government election on the Council's behalf. This means all aspects of candidate registration and nominations, including legislative requirements for candidates during the election process, are overseen by the New South Wales Electoral Commission. Local government elections are normally held every 4 years. The scheduled 2020 New South Wales local government elections have been postponed on 2 occasions by the New South Wales Minister for Local Government due to COVID-19. The postponement of the 2020 election will not change the future schedule of council elections, and the subsequent election will still proceed in September 2024, meaning the term of councillors elected at the 2021 elections will be just shy of 3 years. Narrabri Shire Council consists of 9 elected members. The Narrabri Shire Council Mayor is elected by the councillors, or what is often termed from among their number. To become a councillor, candidates are not required to have any specific prerequisite qualifications. However, there is a series of basic eligibility criteria which includes: you must be entitled to vote at council elections in your local area. All residents of the Shire who are over 18 years of age are legally required to vote in the local council election. To verify your enrolment status for the local government elections, the New South Wales Electoral Commission website has an enrolment verification page. Please note that the electoral rolls for this election will close Monday, 25th of October 2021. You must not be disqualified from standing. The full list of disqualification criteria is set out in section 275 of the Local Government Act, with reasons for disqualification from office including: if you are currently serving a prison sentence, are convicted of certain election-related or criminal offences, are prohibited from managing companies, are suspended on 3 or more occasions for misconduct as a councillor. Current state members, if elected, may only hold office as a councillor if they resign from Parliament before the first council meeting. Serving judges, the returning officer for elections of Narrabri Shire Council, and council employees are also not eligible. As well as being passionate and enthusiastic to improve the Narrabri Shire, as a candidate, you should be willing to learn new skills and undertake professional development and training to assist in fulfilling your role as a councillor. The Office of Local Government provide a list of helpful attributes for potential councillors that include the following: conflict resolution and problem solving skills, ability to work in a team, effective and clear communication, excellent time management skills, ability to understand and interpret budgets, building and maintaining relationships, interpreting legislation and policies, strategic thinking. Section 232 of the Local Government Act outlines that councillors must make all reasonable efforts to acquire and maintain the skills necessary to perform the role of a councillor. The councillor directors and I will assist elected councillors to ensure they have the skills required to meet their obligations through a thorough induction process, as well as provide councillors with information on where to access materials they need to perform their civic duties. Being a councillor carries with it a large responsibility to both yourself and the community. There is a significant investment of time involved in being a councillor. Councillors are required to participate in the following activities as part of undertaking their civic duties. Attend monthly ordinary council meetings. Attend monthly councillor briefing sessions. Attend committee meetings. Read the business papers for both the council and committee meetings. Speak to members of the community about their needs and concerns. Represent council at various events and conferences. And attend any extraordinary council meetings. Narrabri Shire Council ordinary council meetings are currently held on the 4th Tuesday of the month, commencing at 1 p.m. In a normal year, council holds ordinary meetings monthly, with the exception of January. However, due to the elections being held in December 21, a January meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, the 11th of January 2022. This is to ensure legislative requirements surrounding election matters are addressed. Extraordinary meetings are held outside of the normal council meeting schedule and are most often held to consider matters of an urgent nature. Extraordinary meetings can be called on any day and have a different time than the ordinary council meetings. Councillor briefing sessions are currently held on the first Tuesday of the month and begin at 9:30 a.m. Briefings almost always go for at least 4 hours, but depending on the matters on the agenda for that particular briefing, a single briefing may last the majority of the day. Councillor briefing sessions provide information, details and updates on various council matters pertinent at the time or matters that may be coming up for council consideration and future determination. The dates and times of council meetings and councillor briefings will be a matter for the new council to consider early in their term of council. Therefore, the dates and times may be subject to change at the will of the new council in consideration of the availability of the new elected councillors. Councillors may be appointed to council advisory committees and may also be appointed as a council delegate on many of the external committees and panels that council has been requested to be represented on. These appointments are made annually, usually in the month of September. The Councillor Induction Program is designed to provide councillors a comprehensive and in-depth induction to local government operations, legislative requirements including the Code of Conduct and the Code of Meeting Practice, and the numerous councillor obligations and responsibilities. The program is currently scheduled to be delivered commencing in January 2022, with specific dates, times and sessions to be confirmed with the newly elected council, but it will be expected that the program will be in full swing in February 2022. To give potential candidates an earliest possible indication of the induction program, a draft program will be prepared indicating the number of sessions and topics. This draft councillor induction program will be available on the voting and elections page on council's website. Local councils provide infrastructure and services for the benefit of the local community, and councils ensure community resources are managed responsibly. Councils deliver so much more than roads, rates and rubbish. They are a reflection of the complex communities they serve each and every day. While many people are aware that councils manage roads, rates and rubbish, the breadth and diversity of the work of council often goes unnoticed. Council provides the community with a diverse range of services and continues to focus on responsible and sustainable investment in critical infrastructure to further prepare the Shire for years of continuous growth and economic diversification. Council has had a razor-sharp focus on establishing and promoting Narrabri Shire's lifestyle proposition, with many exciting projects being completed, such as numerous kilometres of footpaths right across the Shire, providing increased connectivity in our towns. The new Balladder Recreation Precinct, Vickery Park Broggaby and its major upgrades, the Weewar Green Space in the CBD, and significant upgrades to Dengar Park, the Narrabri Pirate Park, and a number of other new projects getting underway, such as the major regional playground as part of the Tourism and Cultural Precinct located in the proximity of the Narrabri Region Visitors Information Centre and the Crossing Theatre. It really is an exciting time for Narrabri Shire and an exciting time ahead for the future elected members of Council. Local government councils are known as the third tier of government in Australia, after the Australian or federal government and the state government. Local councils are required to follow the legislative obligations outlined in the New South Wales Local Government Act. The purposes of this Act are to provide the legal framework for local government in New South Wales, to regulate the relationships between the people and bodies comprising the system of local government in New South Wales, and to encourage and assist the effective participation of local communities in the affairs of local government. The Act contains specific rules and obligations that councils must follow when making certain decisions on behalf of the community. There are a significant number of other acts, guidelines and policies that councils are also required to abide by in decision making and in the delivery of council services. A few examples of additional acts include the Roads Act, the Environmental Planning and Assessment Act, and the Companion Animals Act. As outlined in the Office of Local Government's Stand for Your Community Candidate Guide, councillors effectively comprise the governing body of a council. Some of the key roles undertaken by the governing body, according to the Act, include providing effective civic leadership, ensure as far as possible the financial sustainability of council, ensure as far as possible the council acts in accordance with the principles prescribed under the Act, as well as other relevant plans, programs, strategies and policies of council, develop and endorse the Community Strategic Plan, Delivery Program and other plans, determine and adopt a rating and revenue policy and operational plans to ensure the council's resources are allocated appropriately, consult with community organisations and community stakeholders about council decisions and activities, and ensure council acts honestly, efficiently and appropriately. Councillors work together to make decisions about what the council will do to meet community needs. Councillors serve their communities by listening to people in the local area and then representing their views on council. Under the Act, each councillor has a responsibility to be an active and contributing member of the governing body, make considered and well-informed decisions, participate in developing Council's integrated planning and reporting framework, which consists of the Community Strategic Plan, Delivery Program and Operational Plan. Represent the collective interests of residents, ratepayers and the local community. Facilitate communication between the local community and the governing body. Uphold and accurately represent the policies and decisions of the governing body. Make all reasonable efforts to acquire and maintain the skills necessary to perform the role of a councillor. All councillors have an individual responsibility that they understand and adhere to the requirements of the Local Government Act. While Council's executive staff provide excellent support in this regard, councillors need to ensure they uphold their civic duties according to the Act and relevant council policies. This is because some breaches of the Act by a councillor can result in repercussions for them individually, such as automatic removal from council. And unfortunately, in such circumstances, the outcome is out of the control of council, other councillors and council staff. Councillor responsibilities need to be taken seriously. Council staff are responsible for implementing resolutions made by the elected council at council meetings. Council staff are part of the operational arm of council, as the staff are responsible for the daily operations of council, which is led by the General Manager. Narrabri Shire Council operations are split across 3 directorates: Corporate and Community Services, Infrastructure Delivery, and Strategy, Planning and People. Council staff carry out the daily operations of the council. This includes the implementation of council policies and other council decisions as resolved at council meetings, under the direction of the General Manager. There are certain restrictions regarding the interaction between councillors and staff. Councillors are not authorised to liaise with or direct staff or council contractors on operational matters. The General Manager is the link between councillors and the operational arm of council. This is set out in the Local Government Act, the Code of Conduct, and council's provision of information and interaction between councillors and staff policy. Council elections are facilitated by the New South Wales Electoral Commission and not the council itself. All candidates are required to submit their nominations and manage their campaigns to the New South Wales Electoral Commission. The registration by a candidate is a separate process to the candidate being nominated for the election in order to have their name printed on the ballot paper. A registration form must be completed and submitted directly to the New South Wales Electoral Commission. Registrations close on the same day as the close of nominations. A candidate is registered once the New South Wales Electoral Commission has processed the registration form. The candidate or group is not permitted to accept a political donation or pay any electoral expenditure until registered or until they are nominated for the election. If you are considering becoming a candidate, we recommend you understand the processes that are involved and the laws that apply in undertaking the candidature process. All of this information is available on the New South Wales Electoral Commission website. There are 6 steps outlined by the New South Wales Electoral Commission. Step 1. Familiarise yourself with the election processes and your legal obligations. There are strict laws and deadlines that must be followed when you are a candidate. These laws and deadlines relate to being nominated as a candidate and/or forming a group, registering for the election so you can start campaigning, producing and distributing electoral material, accepting political donations and/or incurring electoral expenditure. The New South Wales Electoral Commission has a series of webinars on their website regarding general candidature information, election funding and disclosure, nominations and registration of electoral material. For more information about the election process, it is recommended potential candidates view the webinars provided by the New South Wales Electoral Commission. Step 2, register as a candidate or group to start campaigning. Before accepting political donations or making payments for electoral expenditure, a candidate or group must be registered for the election. Accepting political donations includes fundraising through fundraisers. Electoral expenditure is an expenditure that promotes or opposes a political party or candidate or influences the vote at the election. Being registered as a candidate or group for the election is a separate process to being nominated to have your name included on a ballot paper. Registrations and nominations for the elections are now open and close on Wednesday, the 3rd of November 2021. Step 3. Manage and record your campaign finances throughout the entire election period. All candidates at the election, including candidates in a group, are personally responsible for the management, recording and disclosure of their own political donations and electoral expenditure. There are strict rules that apply to accepting political donations and incurring electoral expenditure. These rules are enforced by the New South Wales Electoral Commission. It is the candidate's responsibility to be aware of and understand all of their legal obligations. There are caps on political donations, which means a candidate or group can only accept a certain amount from a person or entity in a financial year. For more information on managing and recording your campaign finances, please visit the New South Wales Electoral Commission website or contact them directly. Step 4, candidate nominations. To have your name included on a ballot paper, you must be nominated as a candidate for the election. To be nominated as a candidate for an election in the local government area, you must be enrolled to vote in the local government area by 6 p.m. Monday, 25th of October 2021. The nomination period starts on Monday, 25th of October 2021 and ends at 12 midday, Wednesday, the 3rd of November 2021. You may be nominated by either a registered political party or 2 electors. If you are nominated by 2 electors, the electors must be enrolled in the local government area for which you are being nominated. Step 5, registration of electoral material, how to vote and to distribute on election day. All electoral material that is to be distributed on election day by political parties, groups, candidates and any other persons or organisations must be registered with the Electoral Commissioner. This includes any material that is handed out or left in a position to indicate it is for collection by the public. For information on the legislative requirements for electoral material, please refer to section 15 of the Candidate Handbook. Step 6, disclose political donations and electoral expenditure. Political donations made and received by candidates and groups must be disclosed every 6 months. The half-yearly disclosure period ends on the 31st of December and the 30th of June. Electoral expenditure must be disclosed by candidates and groups annually. For more information about registration, nomination, election campaign finances, voting and other election processes, as well as important dates and deadlines, please visit the New South Wales Electoral Commission website. Further information on becoming a councillor including a candidate guide and online candidate training tool, can be found on the Office of Local Government website. Council have also created a fact sheet containing these links and direct links to relevant information for candidates on both the New South Wales Electoral Commission and Office of Local Government websites. This fact sheet is available on the Voting and Elections page of Council's website. Thank you for taking part in this webinar on becoming a councillor. This webinar was prepared as an introductory outline of the role of councillors, operation of council, and the election process, with information obtained from both the New South Wales Electoral Commission and the Office of Local Government. Should you have any additional questions, please remember to refer to the New South Wales Electoral Commission website regarding candidate requirements, or the Office of Local Government website that contains the Stand for Your Community Candidate Guide. Alternatively, you can contact Council on 6799 6866 or via email council@narrabri.nsw.gov.au. And again, thank you for taking the time to attend our online webinar, Becoming a Councillor.